Hi everyone, it's Cypresse and Cyrus doing some power flow yoga. It'll be a shorter flow, maybe just 45 minutes. We had a request for a little more strong flow, so I think kids could still probably do everything. And it could still be a fun family activity if you want to use it as such. So we'll start today in any comfortable seat. I'm sitting in Vajrasana, which is a kneeling position. He's sitting in Siddhasana, which is a cross-legged position. So if you have props, please feel free to grab them, have them around your mat. They don't have to be yoga props, but blankets, pillows, books, just anything that might lift the earth to you or lift your seat up so you can sit up straight. So we'll start comfortably seated and close the eyes. Allow yourself to just breathe naturally into the belly. So big inhale and big exhale. Continue with those big breaths. Try not to create any reaction in the body, but rather just notice how full you can naturally breathe in and how much you can let the breath go as you exhale. And this will be the main guiding force of the practice. So it doesn't matter if you can do everything posturally. What matters is that you're breathing your way through, creating sustenance through the breath. You'll find that if you work from the breath rather than what you can do with the body, that often the body will respond and be able to do more because it's not deprived of oxygen. And we'll draw the hands to the heart for a moment, pressing palm to palm. Just taking a moment to breathe over the fingers in a gesture of gratitude, a gesture of releasing into this moment, offering the best that we have, but also understanding that we create a compassionate awareness of how we move in our space, not just to others, but to ourselves. And we'll flutter the eyes open, and as you inhale, reach the arms wide and up to a big V. And then exhale, draw the hands back to midline and to the heart. And breathe in, reach the hands up, reach them out, maybe look up. Exhale, draw the hands back down and into your core. One more time, inhale. And exhale, Prana Mudra. And then we'll inhale, open the arms wide, thumbs pointing back behind you, get the chest open. And then exhale, hands in front of you, draw the hands back to the center of the heart. Breathe in, open out. Developing breath and movement, exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, reach it out wide. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach straight up, maybe widen the hands to V. So you exhale, draw the hands next to your hips, bow forward, child's pose. If you feel more comfortable coming up onto the elbows, you can do that. You can rest something underneath your head. You could reach forward if that's supportive for you, and even widen the knees. So this is our resting pose. See what feels best. And know you can come back here anytime you need to find comfort. A little look inside, see how your breath's doing. As you inhale, we'll pull the hips off of the heels. Position the wrist right underneath the shoulders, index finger pointed forward. Allow the knees to separate right underneath the hips. And then keep a right angle in your right knee. As you inhale, lift the right leg up, look forward in tiger pose. As you exhale, draw the knee to the nose, squeeze all the breath out. Warming the core, inhale, reach the leg up, look up. Exhale, hug it in nice and tight. Breathe in, lift it up, look forward, pull the shoulders on the back. Exhale, squeeze it out. Breathe in, straighten the leg back behind you, flex the foot, find a straight gaze down and lift your left arm forward. So if you want to, you can release the right toes toward the rear edge of the mat for a little kickstand. You can also have a cactus arm on your left arm to make it a little nicer for that shoulder to open. But do keep the front ribs to the back ribs, tuck the chin under, look down. Take just one more deep breath here. Good. As you exhale, set everything down. Keep the knees right underneath the hips. Walk the hands forward to downward facing puppy. So hands reach forward, elbows are buoyant, shoulders and armpits are lifting away from the floor, but the heart sinks in between them. So allow the forehead to come down or the chin. So this is what we would find in a modification for downward facing dog. His hips are really high, spine is really long. This is a little more heart opening than down dog, so, but it's a little more restful as well. Not as much pressure in the shoulders, so feel free to come here as a replacement if you'd like. Just one more breath. And then inhale to walk yourself back up to a table position. Tiger second side, keep a right angle in the left knee. Inhale, lift the left leg up, look up. Exhale, draw knee to nose, squeeze the breath out. Breathe in, shoot it up, tap the back of your head. Exhale, squeeze it out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, shoot the left leg back behind you. The left little toes pointed straight down, suck the front ribs in, and then reach your right arm forward, spinal balance. Look straight down. Remember, modification might be to drop the toes to the rear edge of the mat, come to cactus arm, or you can reach your right arm out to the side. Just breathe steadily, possibly hearing your breath. One more deep breath here. And exhale, let everything set down. Inhale to just one cow. So sits bones high, roll the shoulders on the back, look forward, tuck the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. So as we come to downward facing dog, we're trying to create length in the spine by sharpening the hips upward. So bending the knees can be really helpful. Sai, can you bend your knees quite a bit? And then he can press his chest back. See how much more length you just got there? The shoulders are a little more open, and then if he can keep that length, then he can ground the femurs back and find a little more lift in the hips, maintaining that. The weight is into the index finger and thumb, so these 2 points are pressing in to lift to the outer wrist and internally rotate the forearm. And then to that, once you have internal rotation on the forearm, you're trying to roll the shoulders away from the sides of the neck, crown of the head toward the thumbs. We'll take one more big breath here. And then look forward, take the right foot forward toward the right thumb, plant the left hand to the earth, block, or maybe to a fist. Inhale, right hand to the sky, and twist open. So as much as possible, we want to lean back the torso, really open up the heart, charge up the left leg. And if that means walking your left hand out to the left a little bit, just to find a little more room to extend and roll open, you might look up. Try to squeeze both shoulders onto the back. So the shoulders aren't internally rotated. We're trying to roll them onto the back and express the heart. Take just one more breath, easy twist. Exhale, take the right hand down, frame the right foot, hop the rear foot in just a little bit, and begin to straighten the front leg. So this might be where some props are helpful, whether it's a book out in front of you or a few stacked books, as long as they're not sliding. Maybe tenting your fingertips is enough. If you have yoga blocks, have one inside the foot, out in front of the foot, whatever feels most stable. Allow the chin to tuck to the chest a little bit. Just take that initial hamstring stretch. We'll be doing a lot of flexion and extension in our warm-ups and salutations, so it's nice just to take a little breather here and see how it's going. Good. And we'll bend back into that front knee, plant the hands to frame the front foot, and step back to downward facing dog. So I'd like to show a modified vinyasa for some of us who maybe don't want to use their shoulders as much. So as you inhale, drop the knees toward the mat, look forward, coming into cow. Exhale, round into cat, tuck the tail toward the nose. Breathe in, come back into cow, toes are tucked. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. So what that is called a half vinyasa, and if you're not familiar with that, you would do that in between each side of stacked poses. So Sai's going to be showing a more advanced variation, which we will build to, but know you can always come back to the cow, cat, cow vinyasa as a way to just kind of make it a little easier for the shoulders as you develop strength. But know if you already work with a more advanced vinyasa, please use it. Good. And we'll take the left foot forward toward the left thumb, plant the right hand, charge up the right leg, walk your right hand off to the right side edge of the mat a little bit, and stack the left knee directly over the left heel. Inhale, reach left hand to the sky. So it's an internal twist into the left inner thigh. Keep the hips very buoyant so they're not dropping down too low. And then lean back, roll both shoulders on the back, and maybe look up. So we root down in order to raise, in order to shine. So find adequate, firm roots, and then see where you can free up the joints. Make sure you're breathing, detoxing. One more big breath. And exhale, release that hand. Go ahead and hop your rear foot in a little bit. Keep the heel high. And then begin to straighten the front leg as you bow toward it. So find your props if you need to. You don't have to straighten the leg all the way. Some of us are kind of tight in the hamstrings, and if you feel it right behind your knee or too tight, like sharp up into the sit bone, which is where the biceps femoris kind of come into the bone, be really careful. Maybe bend the knee a little more. This last deep breath. And then rebend your left knee, plant your hands, exhale, downward facing dog. Vinyasa number 2. So remember you have cow, cat, cow, linking breath to that. If you'd like to, inhale, come forward into high push-up, shoulders over the wrists, and then drop the knees. Keep the back of the head lifted, deep breath in, exhale, lower halfway down. And then tuck the tail under, roll your shoulders onto your back, come into your cobra. Exhale, strong core, and back to down dog. So another option would be to lower all the way down to the ground, to take a lower cobra. So you would come into your modified chaturanga, knees on the ground. Exhale, maybe just hover for a second midway down. And then drop all the way down, roll the shoulders on the back, point the toes, little cobra, so hands can lift. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes back into down dog. So we're getting a lot of choices as to how we want to manifest the practice. If you want to work harder, Sai's going to show one in a second where it's a full half vinyasa. I'll be showing modified, so you can choose in between which one. And I might switch it up quite a bit just because I like to remind people that they always have places to go to make sure that they create harmony in their practice. Last deep breath. And then take the right foot forward toward the right thumb. Left foot forward toward the left. Inhale, lengthen the spine, maybe hands to shins. Exhale, bow a little deeper. Hang out here. Ragdoll is a wonderful pose to grab a hold of opposite elbow and just sway the body. The knees can be bent. And then just drawing the chin toward the chest a bit. Most important thing is that the hips rock forward over toe line. So you're trying to lighten your heels. The heels won't lift, but they're trying to get lighter. Another nice resting pose. One more breath. And then raising with extension, hands to shins. Inhale, look forward a little bit, lengthen the spine, reach the arms wide, come all the way up to stand. And then hands to heart. Breathe in, reach the arms wide and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fly down to your fold. Uttanasana. Hands to shins, lengthen the spine out of the hips. And then plant your hands, take 2 steps back into high push-up. Immediately, if you want to, drop your knees for your cow, cat, cow to breath. Or drop the knees and come down onto your belly. Or exhale, lower halfway down. Breathe in, roll to the tops of the feet. You can come into up dog, so his thighs are pretty high off the ground. And then exhale, come back into down dog, maybe through all 4s. Remembering you have replacement of puppy or of child's pose. Take just 2 more breaths. Looking forward, we'll take the left foot forward toward the left thumb. Exhale, right foot forward toward the right. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, bow the head. Raise with extension, look forward first, reach the arms wide, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Sun salutation A, inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fly down to your fold, bend the knees if you need to. Breathe in, lengthen the spine forward. Plant the hands, you can step or hop the feet back, coming into plank, and then choose your vinyasa. Whichever one feels right for you, it's an exhale to lower, an inhale to your back bend, and an exhale back to your choice of pose. A few deep breaths. If you hear grunting in the background, there's a little tiny pug right behind this camera, and he's sleeping. So you can look forward, you can either hop your feet toward your hands or step the right foot forward toward the right thumb and left foot forward toward the left. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow the head. Breathe in, raising with a flat back. Reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. We'll do one more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come down to a comfortable fold. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, and proceed through your half vinyasa. So the important thing that we're finding as we develop vinyasa, which is linking breath into certain moves, is that the breath is leading us to certain poses. And if you really work from the breath, as I've said, it's going to be more lyrical. It'll be a lot more, beautiful, because we won't be trying so hard to fit ourselves into a pose without the breath, without the subtlety of breath. And then either hop or step the feet forward toward the hands. If you're stepping forward, try to switch which leg you step forward with each time. Exhale, take a bow. Breathe in, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. So look down at your feet and try to find that your big toes are touching and your heels are just a tiny bit apart. So we're looking to kind of lift the inner ankles and inner arches up. Lift and spread the toes. And then take a deep bend into your knees. Maybe even touch the earth. Inhale, arms forward, coming into Utkatasana. So some of us like to reach the hands up in a more traditional pose. Reaching forward will allow you to pull your shoulders back onto your back. Weight is dripping into the heels. So we don't want to be so far forward that when I look down, I can't see my toes. I want to move the hips back, knees a little more over the heel line. Take just one more big breath here. As you exhale, touch the hands to the earth, straighten the legs, forward fold. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, and then back into your half vinyasa. So through plank, we'll remember we have inhaling cow, exhaling cat, inhaling cow, exhaling down dog, and we all end up there around the same time. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, step it forward next to your right thumb, drop onto the rear heel. We'll breathe in, reach the arms up overhead. Virabhadrasana A. Holding here for a couple of beats. It's hard for you to squeeze the shoulders together while letting them come down the back. Interlace your fingers, turn the palms up toward the ceiling, and see if you can find that rooting of the shoulders that are rising through the heels of the hands. You might look up, but try to never drop the back of the head straight to the shoulders. Lift through the back of the neck as well as the front. Take one more big breath. Exhale, take the hands down to frame your right foot. Step back into your vinyasa, or just hold plank. Couple deep breaths. Building strength without so much movability in the arm joints. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through, drop onto your right heel. Inhale, arms up overhead. So in our Warrior A, we're looking at squaring the hips toward the front edge of the mat. So right hip moves forward, left hip moves back, rear heel stays down to the pinky toe side edge of the foot, and then there's a navel engagement. So pulling the navel in and up and trying to just wash the spine upward. Allow yourself to feel equal rooting to rising. So find firm roots, and from that, explore freedom. Let the shoulders drip low. Remember, you can non-habitually interlace fingers, press them up toward the sky. Last big breath. Exhale, take the hands down, step back, coming into a hold, into a flowing vinyasa, or just hike the hips up, go straight into down dog. Couple deep breaths. Good. So we're going to do that a few times just to develop a little bit of heat. So on your next inhale, look forward, step forward or hop, feet to hands, long spine. Exhale, take a bend. And bend into the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. As you exhale, come to stand, hands to heart. Deep bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, touch the earth, straighten the legs, forward fold. Breathe in to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, step or hop back. And allow yourself to lower through your vinyasa. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it next to your right thumb, drop onto the left heel. Breathe in, reach the arms up. One big breath. Exhale, take the hands down, step back into vinyasa. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through, drop the right heel. Breathe in, reach the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down and step back. Vinyasa or straight to down dog. Remembering modifications. So this internal rotation of the shoulders as you come to resting child's pose can be really nice just to counterpose some of all the external rotation we're creating. And on your next inhale, step or hop forward, feet to hands, long spine. Exhale, bowing, bending deeply into your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to heart. Bend into your knees. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fly to your fold. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. And then your choice, back through vinyasa or step to a steady hold. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through, drop the rear heel. Inhale, arms up, warrior A. Exhale, take the hands down, back through vinyasa or hold. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, wide lunge, drop the right heel. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Exhale, take the hands down and choose vinyasa, down dog. Few deep breaths. Hopefully I've developed a little bit of heat, a little internal warmth, a little glisten. And we'll look forward to the head of the mat. Take 2 large steps or a spring forward. Long spine. Exhale, take a bow. Separate the feet about hip width distance apart. That's about 2 fists. Grab a hold anywhere along the low leg or your peace fingers around your great toes. Take a big breath in, look forward, and then exhale, assist yourself into a deeper fold. So So as you come down, just like any forward fold, we want weight to come into the toe mounds, so his hips will move forward in space. And this should afford a little bit of room for the spine to actually gracefully release, because sometimes when we push ourselves down, it actually hurts the low back. Let the head go. In fact, if you can, you might even consider not just dropping the head, but actually looking into your own navel. Last deep breath. And then walk your hands off of your toes, walk them forward to tented fingertips, or please find props to lift. So even a thick, enchilada can of food underneath can be helpful just to lift the earth a few inches. And then we're gonna lift our right leg out to the right, just as high as you can, toes pointed forward. Keep your gaze down, crown of the head forward, and then left arm out to the left, awkward airplane. Breathing, so feeling the gluteal work. Lengthening the spine. Last big breath. Exhale, softly let everything come down. Find the feet hip width distance. Take the soles of the hands, if you can, underneath the soles of the feet. This is a nice counter pose for some of the half vinyasas we did if you were on your wrists a lot. Inhale, look forward, and as you exhale, try to pull your hands out from underneath your feet. Again, look to your navel. So there's a little bit of a concavity almost to the chest here. As he rocks weight into the hands, it relieves the wrists. Even the palms of the hands can be aggravated by vinyasa. So as we move the hips forward, we relieve that. Elbows, if they bend out to the side. So it's kind of like a gorilla arm. And then looking into your own navel, again, we'll just create almost a circuit. Inhale up the back of the legs. Exhale over the whole back of the body down through the crown of the head and arms. So we keep inhaling up and exhaling to let go. And just one more breath. Inhale, look forward, walk your hands forward. So your spine is as long as it can be. Look straight down though, try not to look forward too much. And then you'll lean a little to the right, lift your left leg up, and then lift the right arm up. Spine is long, left leg's lifting, right shoulder blades hugging into the back, and we're trying to really pull the crown of the head out of the hips. One more breath. Exhale, soften everything down. Separate your feet a little wider, and then take a squat. So as you come down into your squat, let the elbows come to the knees. Little blanket underneath the heels could be nice. And then push the elbows into the knees, draw the thumbs to the center of the chest, and see if you can find just a little more length in the spine. Grounded pose. Feel free to even close the eyes. And just take a few breaths, lengthening your exhale. So it's always a good method to just go inside and see how long you can breathe out so that you can create some ease in breathing in, taking in. And notice how your breath quiets. So this is a wonderful position. This could be really fun for the littles. I know he's been doing yoga for, how long, gosh? He's been 4, so like 11 years. And this was one of the first really fun poses that got him interested. So it's called crow pose. So we take our hands down, shoulder width distance, hike your hips up. So if you're new to this, it's nice to have a blanket out in front of you. So if you do bonk, it's padded. So we take our elbows into a little bend, place one knee up to the top of its upper arm, and then the other knee up to the top of its arm. So you've created a little shelf. And then most important, look forward, look out of your hips, so you don't have a propensity to rock and roll onto your head. And then as you take weight onto that shelf, you might lift one foot up, and then you might lift the other foot up, joining the toes to touch. Keep your head lifted. So everything's squeezing to midline, and he's trying to lift his heart up away from the floor. Eventually arms become straight in this one. Good job. Go again. I like to get down a little deeper, hike my hips up a little more, and then see about almost trying to launch the shoulders in front of the wrists. So you're perching. And then touch the toes, straighten the legs, and take 2 steps back through your choice of vinyasa or down dog. I'm gonna make a pant adjustment. Thanks for understanding. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, step the right foot forward toward the right thumb. Drop onto the rear heel. So you're lining up your heels down the middle of the mat. And then we'll come up into Virabhadrasana B. So this is our warrior 2, you might hear it called. So we're in a wide stance, a sideways stance to the side of the mat. Aim your right knee towards your right little toe, so it swings open like a door. That might pull your left hip forward. That's okay. Allow yourself to feel reaching through the fingers, but hugging in through the shoulder blades. Take one more breath. Steady gaze over the right middle finger. Turn your right palm up. Reverse warrior. Reach that hand to the sky, freeing up your whole right side body. Try not to lean on your left hand though. This is your own internal strength lifting you up and out. From firm roots, of course. Gaze can be up, gaze can be down. One more deep breath here. And then begin to straighten your right leg to nearly straight. Keep a little bend. Reach out as far as you can without folding forward to any degree. Release your right hand and lift the left hand straight out from your own chest. Trikonasana, triangle. So we're not folding forward just to get our head down or our hand down. We're actually tucking the tail, leaning back. Because it's only when you lean back that you find, oh, I can twist. I can roll my left shoulder and lung open. And maybe look up. And then we'll look down. We're going to tip this onto its side. So bend into the right knee. Release your left hand to your left hip. Maybe hop your rear foot in a little bit so you have more stability into your right foot. Don't turn your toes to the left at all. Try to keep them straight forward. Plant your hand to block, prop, or tented fingertips, and then lift your left leg up, Ardha Chandrasana. And then you can lift your left arm up. Again, we're creating length through the crown of the head so that we can roll open into the twist. Maybe begin to look to the side room or up to the sky. One more big breath. Look down, release your left hand, standing split. Try to lift your left leg up just as high as you can. Remember, hands to props can be really helpful. You can also keep an internal rotation of your left hip for stability and a bend in your right knee. One more breath. And we'll take a big bend into the right knee and a big step back into a lunge. Drop onto your left knee. Turn your right toes out toward the right a little bit so your knee is tracking over your second and third toe. You can have props, even pillows underneath you to the inside of your right foot, and then maybe drop your elbows down to lizard. Let your right knee wing out, or if you need more stability, stay up higher and squeeze that knee in. You might need to turn your toes in a little bit in that case. So more flexible, knee winging. More stable, knee hugging into midline. More stable yet, to tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up, and take a higher lizard. Wherever your breath supports you in being right now. Take just one more breath. This is a nice modification for pigeon pose. If you have some knee concerns, there's a little more freedom. We're a little higher off the ground. So we're going to take our left elbow underneath the shoulder. If you're up higher or you're on props, I encourage you to step back to a full plank first. Side, just keep your left elbow down, okay? And then what we'll do, I'll show that plank variation. I'll step back and then I can drop onto the left elbow. And then stack the toes, turn the heels to the left, and lift your right hand up. Side plank. Good. If you want to add a little opening, reach the hand back behind you overhead. Exhale, reach it in front of your chest, reach to the left elbow. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, round. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, lift it up. And then exhale, slowly let yourself rotate back down. Sink your hips. Walk the elbows forward, right underneath the shoulders, point the toes. Close the eyes and breathe into the whole circumference around the spine. Belly is obvious. Can you feel the side body? The back body? Tuck the chin in just a tiny bit. Lengthen the back of the neck. And access a tuck of the tail if it hurts your low back, or you can lower all the way down. Just 2 more breaths. When we come out really slow. One elbow, the next elbow. Let your forehead kiss your hands for a second. And then keeping the chin tucked, hands in line with the center of the chest, elbows in. You can keep your knees on the ground or tuck your toes under. Come up to modified or full plank. Exhale back to down dog. See how your dog feels now. May have accessed some room in the body. As you inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose, step it forward, wide lunge, drop onto the rear heel, and then spiral up to warrior B. You might look down from the top and just kind of notice your feet, trying to find the heel to heel or heel to rear arch alignment is good too. Aiming your left knee out to the little toe so it swings open. You don't want to roll the foot or the ankle, but definitely try to feel lengthening of your inner thigh. Rear leg so grounded, so strong, and then to that tuck your tail under so your hips are level to one another. And then engaging the navel in and up, finding lift through the chest and the back body. Arms release effortlessly forward and back. And then soften the gaze over the horizon of your left middle finger. So nothing is too strong right now. Everything is contributing in just the perfect way. Reverse warrior, left palm up, reach it to the sky. Lengthening through your left side waist. This can be done with a straight front leg as well. You can look up, turning your heart in that direction, or you can twist more to the right, look down past your right foot, and see if that changes anything for you. Maintain the inner awareness of left knee out to left little toe. And then keep all this length. Straighten your left leg to a micro bend. Reach out as far as you can and come into your triangle. So not folding or closing the chest, but rather tucking the tail, leaning back, rolling open. So we're trying to create as much extension from the tip of the tail up through the crown of the head as if you were standing in Tadasana. And then as you draw the navel in and up and extend a little bit more in the thoracic spine, then the twist comes with ease rather than crunch. And the next pose is predicated upon the stability of this one. So notice your left foot, press into the big toe mound, move the inner edge of your left ankle toward the right, and keep the toes pointed straight forward. Look down as you bend your left knee. Touch your right hand to your right hip. Find your block to the left upper corner of the mat. Maybe hop the rear foot in or come right into it, Ardha Chandrasana. Start by looking down, keeping the right toes turned toward the right or even up a little bit. Roll the right shoulder on the back. Maybe lift the hand up. Maybe begin to look up. Looking down will bring more ground, more stability possibly, as eyes are a root to our present moment. Try to keep pulling that left sit bone back toward the right heel. Last big breath. Look down, release the right hand. Hands can come on to support if you'd like, and bow your head, standing split. It doesn't have to be very high. Maybe your hands are out a little bit and your right heel is lower than your right hip. If you're getting a good stretch through your left hamstring, and it's not too much behind the knee or up into the sit bone, that's perfect. If you wanted to, you can walk your hands back, really lift that right leg up. So find the balance for you that works for right now. Never looks the same. It shouldn't actually. We learn from every little bit that we do on the mat. Last big breath. Bend into your left knee. Take a big step back, so very wide lunge. Drop onto your right knee. Turn your left toes out to the left a little, so the middle of your knee is kind of aiming right out over second and third toe. Walk hands to the inner arch of the left foot. Stay here, come to fists, raise the earth onto props, or drop yourself down, elbows to props or earth. Again, this is the flexi one. This is the one where the knee wings out, wing lizard, getting a good stretch in the front of your right hip flexor. If you wanted it to be stronger, raise yourself up a little, tuck the rear toes under, lift the knee up, turn the left toes in a little, and squeeze that knee in. And then maybe you come down deeper. Every single pose can be made with, a little more choice of stability. And every single one can be made to kind of choose more flexibility. It's never entirely one thing or the other. We use one to complement the other, and vice versa. About one more breath. And a nice little hip opener if you're in the stretchy one. So side, keep your right elbow on the ground. He's gonna come right into the pose, side plank from here. So his right elbow is right underneath the right shoulder. I'm gonna demonstrate how if you're up higher, you'd come into that pose. So you tuck the right toes under, lift up and into plank, and then drop onto your right elbow. Stack your feet, heels to the right. Inhale, left hand high. This can be done also with your knees down, feet bent back behind you. So know you can modify if you'd like. Inhale, reach the hand back behind you. Exhale, reach it toward your right elbow or beyond. Breathe in, lift it up. Maybe roll open. Exhale, behind right elbow. One more time, inhale and exhale. Breathe in, reach it up. Last little kiss of the pose. Exhale, let everything come down slowly. This time, walk your knees underneath your hips. Walk the hands forward. Let's accentuate our puppy, sinking heart toward the floor, maybe even chin. You want even more opening for your upper back. Walk your elbows toward one another, maybe touching. Hands press toward one another. And then as you sink your heart down, lift your hands up and feel that beautiful external rotation of your upper arm bone and in between your shoulder blades. And we'll go ahead and release the heart forward. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. And then inhale, right hand out to the right. As you exhale, thread it right behind your left wrist. Come to land on the shoulder. Take your left hand to the wrist crease of your right hand and push the hand away so you get a rear shoulder blade stretch. This hand here, push it away from you. So as he pushes this arm away, there's a little more roundness in the right shoulder blade. It's actually stretching the shoulder blade out from the center of the spine. We don't want to aggravate the neck, however, so if you're feeling like that action creates some discomfort or some, twinge in the neck, don't push away so much. Maybe use the hand in support of the pose by having the hand in front of the chest or face. Just one more breath. Left hand in front of the face, press yourself up. Give yourself a few rolls on the right side, rolling that shoulder onto the back. It's a wonky little move, but feels good. And then pausing in stability and table. Inhale, left arm out to the sky, and then exhale, thread the needle behind the right wrist, rest your head, and then take the heel of your right hand to the base of your left and push it away. So not just the shoulder blade stretching from the center of the spine, but also his ribs right here. If he really pushes away, you're getting these rear ribs to separate and stretch, which is kind of a hard place to get to unless you find some sort of, lateral side flexion, yeah? But remember stability too. If you need it, right hand in front of your face, push down. Allow that to twist you open without too much pressure on the left hand. Just one more breath. Breathe big into the rear of the body. Right hand in front of your face. Strengthen upward to come into your table. And then just the left shoulder. Roll it open. Great. And just for the view's sake, we're going to turn around and face our heads toward you guys. Once you lay onto your back, draw the knees in toward the chest. Separate your knees. Maybe join the soles of the feet together in a reclining butterfly. Or grab a hold of the ankles or bottoms of the feet, happy baby. And then you can rock, cross the low back. You can straighten one leg all the way out to the side, touch the toe, and then come back through happy baby, straighten the other leg out to the side, touch the toe, and moving whatever way feels good for you right now. Sometimes I just lay flat on my back and just straighten and bend the knees. I know that my weakness is external rotation of the thigh with those long hamstrings, tight hips, causes some stuff. Pause in stillness, whatever pose feels good. Flatten your back. And then one more twist before we end. So hug your knees in toward the chest. Let your arms come out to a T. Let your legs drop over to the left and possibly gaze to the right. So in the twist, we twist the legs to the left. We root legs to left. But then as we open out to the right, this is actually then a right spinal twist, even though the legs are going left. And why that's important, they say, is because the ascending colon comes up the right low belly. And so we twist to the right first to kind of compress that a little more, and we twist to the left second to get into the descending colon. So if you think about, your belly and its digestion, we kind of want to move it in this circular fashion to eliminate, massage the organs. So this is a good time to breathe into your belly. And if you have time to spend more time here, even if you take it cold, even without all the warm-ups that we did, it's really wonderful just to get into this pose, make sure you're stable and comfortable, and then just breathe belly breaths. I mean, we can't be worse for it. Go ahead and lift your knees up. And then he's going to go right over to the other side. So when the knees root to the right, your spine is essentially twisting open to the left. Finding the shoulders on the mat as best you can without force. And you're also trying to make sure that there's no torque in the hips as you do this. You can just drop your knees to one side, look over the other shoulder, but sometimes, so say with his knees to the right, if he moved his whole pelvis over to the left, go ahead and do that side, move your whole hip region over, and then drop your knees down. So notice now that the hips are right in the center of his two shoulders. It's hard to see probably from the angle, but he's just realigned the spine. It's not the virus. And then we're going to roll back onto the back, and he'll have to reposition the hips. Hips move center a little bit, and draw the knees in toward the chest. And then just kind of notice how you feel. We're going to end here in a pose that works for us. If you have pillows for behind your knees, that would be great. A little pillow behind your head. That works best for side's neck, so I'm going to get him a blanket that he can put behind his head. And then he can set his feet flat to the earth, let the knees knock in toward one another. This is constructive rest, hands to belly, hands next to hips, or cactus. Or maybe he wants to stretch his legs out all the way, more traditional Shavasana position. And I really welcome you to keep this as long as you can, over 10 minutes if possible. I know that's difficult, especially if you have work to do and little ones running around. But I did want to end in a poem I found yesterday. I thought was really, really beautiful and topical at this point. Yes, there is fear. Yes, there is isolation. Yes, there is panic buying. Yes, there is sickness. Yes, there is even death. But they say that in Wuhan, after so many years of noise, you can hear the birds again. They say that after just a few weeks of quiet, the sky is no longer thick with fumes, but blue and gray and clear. They say that in the streets of Assisi, people are singing to each other across empty squares, keeping their windows open so that those who are alone may hear the sounds of family around them. They say that a hotel in the west of Ireland is offering free meals and delivery to the housebound. Today, a young woman I know is busy spreading flyers with her number through the neighborhood so that the elders may have someone to call on. Today, churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples are preparing to welcome and shelter the homeless, the sick, and the weary. All over the world, people are slowing down and reflecting. All over the world, people are looking at their neighbors in a new way. All over the world, people are waking up to a new reality, to how big we really are, to how little control we really have, to what really matters, to love. So we pray and we remember that yes, there's fear, but there does not need to be hate. Yes, there is isolation, but there does not need to be loneliness. Yes, there is panic buying, but there does not need to be meanness. Yes, there is sickness, but there does not need to be disease of the soul. Yes, there's even death, but there can always be a rebirth of love. Wake to the choices you make as to how to live now. Today, breathe. Listen behind the factory noises of your panic. The birds are singing again. The sky is clearing. Spring is coming, and we are always encompassed by love. Open the windows of your soul, and though you might not be able to touch across the empty square, sing. You stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. Really let it nurture you for strength as you step off the mat. We thank you so much for sharing some time on the mat this afternoon, and we hope it supports your life as you go through this with one another. Namaste.